Orlando. She's been at the regional medical center for most of the day. Just before we came on air, she gave me the latest information on the casualties that have been brought in.
As of right now, there's still a handful of folks who are in Orlando Health and the Orlando Regional Medical Center, that is. This morning, they brought in about 44 people, and 9 of them perished while they're at the hospital. There's still a few people, at last check, that were in surgery right now. Don't have the latest update other than the fact that there have been 50 confirmed dead at this point, and 53 of them that were injured along with that 50.
And there's been an appeal, I understand, for blood donations?
There has. That is hands down the biggest need right now. We've got hundreds of people here in Orlando lined up at all the blood donation centers. In fact, we have blood buses located all.
So, I'm driving and listening to these horrible reports, and seeing signs like trust God, trust Jesus, trust Him. I mean, okay. All right. Yeah. And the thing is that I was thinking, I think Allahu Akbar, or whatever that is, I think that's about as offensive as saying Heil Hitler at this point. I don't know. I mean, this one hits really close to home because it's literally, because I am a gay lesbian, and I live in Florida. So, I do feel in some ways, I feel like it's much more personal. And I don't feel the usual rage against gun control people and all that. I really don't. And I probably should, considering it was an AK-47 that the guy got too easily. I'm definitely in favor of gun control. I don't believe assault weapons have any place in society. I think they should be completely banned. I mean, I think it's okay for handguns to be illegal only because the Supreme Court said so in Heller that it's that constitutionally handguns are allowed. But Scalia, when he made that rules or wrote that opinion, he specifically said that doesn't mean we can't, have other gun control laws. So there's absolutely no reason why. I mean, these AK-47s are designed to just blow the shit out of people's tissue. It sends out some sort of a yucky stuff that. But anyway, that's not really the point. What I'm trying to say is that I just. Okay, for one thing, I do feel that ISIS, I think ever since I learned about ISIS, I do feel it's an existential threat to the United States. And Obama has specifically said it's not. To which I would respond, well, tell these families and lovers and parents or whatever of these people who no longer exist that ISIS is not an existential threat to these people who no longer exist, who are Americans and who were killed in an American nightclub. And the whole thing about, I don't understand, that there was another thing I was listening to, in the car, and BBC or something, and they were saying how, in the propaganda that ISIS sends out, they promised, you get twice as many virgins or something if you kill infidels during Ramadan. Like, it's kind of like a sale. Like, they're promising, it's kind of like a sale. It's like this twisted version of capitalism or something. Like, if you kill this month only, you get extra virgins in the afterlife. I mean, this is real. This is what people believe this. What I want to know is, why do people believe that? Why? I mean, I don't think it's a lack of education. I mean, I assume the people that have been committing these crimes seem to be educated. I mean, surely they know better. How does somebody buy into that? Maybe it's because of their socioeconomic status. They're so disenfranchised. I don't know. I kind of doubt it, though. I kind of doubt it. I don't know what it is. For me, it brings up more questions than anything this one does. you know, and I do have a lot of feelings about gun control and all that. But this one, I think, for me, it's not the main issue. And I also notice whenever these things come out that there's sort of like this partisan fight. And the Republicans always want to say, fight more terror, fight more terror. You're not saying radical Islamic terrorism, which, by the way, I don't see why Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton don't say radical Islamic terror. I mean, what's the big deal? Why can't you? I mean, it is, right? I mean, is there some reason I'm missing as to why they don't call it that? I mean, I realize it's just semantics, and maybe they just don't want to be told what to do, but by the other side. And of course, the other half of it is, you know, the Republicans always want to blame it on the, you know, the ideology. The Democrats always want to blame it on guns. I don't think anything is black and white. I don't think anything is that simple. And I don't know if understanding it is going to help, but that's what it makes me want to do. It makes me want to try and understand it. In the same way, you know, I want to understand the Holocaust, and I've studied it and read every book I can find, and I still don't know shit. But the act of trying to understand it for me is somewhat therapeutic, and in fact, it's the only thing that I can do to cope, I guess, with it. Because my grandmother and my grandfather were my grandmother was the only person in her family who survived. Everyone else got wiped out. So I feel very directly affected by the Holocaust, because there's a whole batch of aunts and uncles who I never knew, because they were killed. Not only were they killed, but they were killed in such horrifically dehumanizing ways. And then for me, this is similar, because this is like you're hitting my people again. And not only being American, which is more broad, but specifically gay and lesbian people, and even in the fact that it's just a couple hours from where I live. I mean, people go back and forth from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando all the time. There's a very good chance I knew somebody who was killed. I have no idea. I have no idea. But so I don't understand it. I find my reaction, I mean, having this happen so many times, the good part of it is, if there is a good part, it's that it makes me sort of learn about my reactions and how I can study my reactions and learn how last time I reacted and maybe try and change it and see what's different. And in this case, I don't feel like I'm trying to sort of watch out for the instant rage that inevitably happens and causes me to blame. I think it must be a very natural thing, you know, rage and blame. I don't feel that, not in the same way. I don't feel like I can just blame it on guns. I don't feel like I can just blame it on, you know, I don't know. I can't just blame it on even Islamic, radical Islam. I can't blame it on, you know, people's bigotry of Muslims and being disenfranchised. It's just, I don't understand it. Maybe it's just fucking evil. Maybe that's just evil. I don't know. It's always been fucking evil in the world. There's always been fucking assholes. But I have to pick and choose and say, okay, I have to decide what it is that I'm going to believe without being black and white about it. And I have to say there's things from all different sides that bits and pieces I agree with and disagree with. For example, like I said, the radical Islam thing, I do think Obama and Clinton need to call it out and say this is radical Islamic terrorism. Yes, I do believe that, I'm talking from my perspective, that I do believe it's an existential threat. Also, it makes me think about a lot of electoral politics. It makes me think about the Israel-Palestine situation, because, and here's why, and I do think of that a lot, because so many people, and I think a lot of the Sanders support and hatred of Hillary Clinton from the left, not from the right, from the left, comes from the fact that she's very supportive of Israel. And I think there's a lot of that which goes unsaid because people don't want to be accused of anti-Semitism and whatnot. And they're very much against Israel, view Israel as an apartheid state. I don't think that's a black and white issue either. But I will say this, I used to believe that much in the same way that a far-left progressive believe, until just a few years ago, that really Israel is an apartheid state and that they're primarily to blame for this situation. And the thing is that now my opinion has changed on that. Yes, I think that Israel does tend to be heavy-handed on things. But on the other hand, when Gaza, I think Gaza is what changed my mind, because when Gaza came and happened, you know, Palestinians in Gaza were shooting some rocket. I don't even know if you can hear me. It's such a shitty pavement. I'm taking US 41 up to Chicago, which is scenic and very interesting, but because Waze told me to, but also it's nice. So I don't know if that's fucking up my sound. But when the Palestinians started sending the rockets, and granted they didn't kill very many people, they weren't very successful. And then, so Israel, you know, they were randomly flying rockets into, I think, Tel Aviv and some other Israeli cities. Israel responded by bombing the shit out of Gaza. And when I heard like Democracy Now! and left-wing, far-left people talking about it, when they interviewed, they never really had an answer for, well, you know, Amy Goodman would ask, and she's a fair interviewer, and she asked people who were taking the Palestinian side in this. She'd say, well, what do you say to the people that say Israel has to defend itself because you're throwing bombs? And then the answer was always, well, it's disproportionate because you're killing a lot more people than we killed. So basically what they were saying is, you are successful you're the bad guy because you're successful at defending yourself against us. Again, it's not black and white. It's a very complicated issue. If it was black and white, it would have been settled years ago. But my point is, I guess, that this terrorism thing is real, and that we, as a country, as a society, we really do have to say this. We have to defend ourselves against people who not only want to kill us, but actively try to kill us. And this is something Israelis have had to deal with for years, and now we're just being hit in the same way. We're no different from Israelis, really, now, the way we're being attacked. And we have to say, fuck you, you know? Just fuck you. And not try and rationalize. I think this issue needs to be separated from the left-wing, right-wing thing. The progressive agenda is a good one, but it's not, to me, really all that related to, I don't know, it's very confusing. And maybe that's why so much shit sucks, because it is so confusing for so many people. But, you know, I don't know. I want to be a pacifist, but how can you be a pacifist when people are killing you in such a brutal, disgusting way? I mean, what ISIS is doing, the way they're killing people is so fucking disgusting. Like, they've actually put people in acid, families, and dunk people in water and to drown them. I mean, they just do the most horrific ways to kill people they possibly can think of. It's pure fucking evil. In the same way Hitler was pure fucking evil. And what did we have to do to Hitler? We had to fucking kill him and kill the people that were fighting for him. And that's the same thing we have to do here. And, you know, and separating this from a political issue, because I don't think it is a political issue. I think making this thing a political issue in America does not help. But I do think it is an existential threat. And to anybody who believes in, you know, that humans have a right to be free, I guess. I mean, look at what so many countries honor killings of gay people, that hate gay people, that hate America. Fuck them. You know, and to just turn around and say, well, we deserve it because we are, you know, hegemony and all that, and we're a horrible country, and we're terrible people. Yeah, we're horrible, sure. But we're certainly not fucking, you know, doing honor killings of gay people. I mean, yeah, we do horrible things as a country, but we're not, it's still us, you know, sorry, but it's us. I'm going to be on our side rather than the side of people that are going to fucking kill me. You know, there's a lot of self-loathing that can happen. And there's a lot of, it's kind of like being a vegan, you know? Like, I think vegans are okay, I guess, if they're doing it for health reasons, but these people that are so militantly vegan because they're absolutist and believe that you shouldn't kill anything, I think in a way they're kind of denying what it is to be human and how awful, and life in general, and how it always ends in pure tragedy and death and destruction, and the universe as a whole just fucking sucks and everything fucking gets destroyed. And you have to accept some of that as reality, as much as I hate to. And this is what's changed about me getting older, is that I've come to see things in such a different way. And yeah, I'm just babbling, so I don't know how much of this I'll agree in an hour. I mean, I may listen to this and just be like, what the fuck am I talking about? But I'm just doing a stream of consciousness because I don't know what the fuck else to do with this. And I feel like I'm being rational. I feel like I'm being sane by avoiding the pure rage. I'm trying to. But, yeah. Yeah. I think this is something where we have to fight it, honestly. And fighting it is not saying, well, America's terrible, look at all these horrible things we do, so we deserve it. And that's why there's terrorists, because we create them. No, we don't create this kind of fucking evil. Yeah, we did some horrible things. Some of us did. Bush was a fucking moron and ruined a lot of shit. But that doesn't make us deserve it. No, it just doesn't. You know, Abu Ghraib was horrible, but it's not as bad as this. I hope. Maybe it is. I don't know. See, that's the thing. It's so fucked up, right? But no matter what, even if it is worse, I'm going to be on the side of the people that want to protect me, not on the side of the people that want to kill me. And that's just how it is. Because I don't believe I should die. And I don't believe my people should die. So yeah, my side did some things wrong, yeah, and fucked with people and tortured people. Certainly not something I ever wanted to happen. But if that happened, that doesn't mean I deserve punishment for it. And even if I deserve it, I'm not going to accept that. I'd rather say, you know what, fuck you. You're dead. Goodbye. You're not going to fuck me. I don't know. This is ridiculous. I feel like an idiot talking like this. But again, it's just better than doing. It's all I can do is just talk about it. I don't fucking know. It's so fucking upsetting, that's all. I mean, I just drove through Orlando yesterday. I saw roller coasters. You know? And then the day before that, the singer got shot. She got shot in the club also. The singer from The Voice or some completely innocent situation. I don't know. But the AK-47s, those have to be banned. So I don't mean to imply that I'm not blaming this on guns. I mean, it's part of it, but it's not one thing. It is definitely, that I'm sure of, not one thing. And I think in this case, it's hard to say what if, hypotheticals are so retarded. But in this case, I think it probably would have happened anyway. I think the guy would have built a bomb, you know, or he would have done something else horrible, or poisoned people, or God knows what. You know, I feel like this is so deeply rooted in a hatred and evil and psychosis that I don't blame the weapon in this case. Now, don't ask me about Sandy Hook and these other things. Yeah, I think that the weapons are much more to blame, but in this one, I think it's much more to do with evil and shit. You know, and I've mentioned in my previous podcast about what I think can be done. I think probably the most that can be done is probably on the side of the tech companies who, and I think they bear a lot of responsibility for this, that they can't just let every video be posted if it's going to incite this kind of evil. You know, they bear some responsibility. If you're going to have a site that lets everything be up there, you have to be then you have to say, okay, I'm somewhat responsible for this. Even if you're not going to do anything about it, say, you know what, we're YouTube, and it really sucks that a bunch of people got killed because someone succumbed to propaganda that was on our site. You know, at least admit it, if nothing else. I don't know, that doesn't make sense either, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm done talking, but I don't want to stop talking because then I'm going to have to listen to that fucking coverage again. And I really don't. I was listening to an audiobook of Wayward Pines, the second book that Wayward Pines was based on, which is fucking horrible. But you know, it's an audiobook and makes the time go. I'm right, I don't know where the fuck I am. I passed Terre Haute. I'm on US something, 41 maybe? I don't know. I'm coming up on a huge wind farm. It's kind of neat. So yeah. And plus Gay Pride Month, how offensive. Just how awful. And now I'm going to have to listen to all this fucking bullshit. Everything in the gay community, everybody's going to throw these vigils and guilt trip and be like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm fucking, you know how the shit gets, just fucking stupid. Shit's going to get real stupid and ridiculous. And everybody's going to have their fucking heart on their sleeves and go on and whoever, and they're going to see whose grief is bigger and talk about how they know people that were killed. And we're going to have to listen to a whole lot of stupid ass bullshit from the community. The gay community. I don't want to have to go through that shit. It's one of the things I'm dreading about going to Chicago is having to see all these fucking Matthew Shepard-esque vigils. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're not appropriate. They are. But, it sucks. It sucks that that's going to happen. And everybody with their fucking opinion on Facebook and black and whiting everything. If you say this, you're defriended. Oh, yeah, right. I'm going to defriend you. If you say this, this, or that, I'm going to defriend you. Oh, yeah. Fuck you. I mean, really, if you're going to fight, if you're going to get in a fight with somebody, get in a fight with a fucking fundamentalist Muslim. Don't get in a fight with another American who doesn't want people to die any sooner than you want them to die. Fight the real enemy, as Sinead O'Connor said, like 1991 or something. Fight the real enemy. The real enemy is ISIS and these assholes who are killing people for no reason. That's the real enemy. Even these dickwads who want every gun to be legal, for me, they're not the real enemy. Because they're not the ones shooting people with them. They're complicit, yeah. But I don't believe in their minds they are doing this. I don't think anybody, or maybe there's a few, of course, but I don't think people even, that support the NRA, I don't think they really want people to die. They're not like saying, oh, guns are gonna, and behind closed doors, they're not saying to themselves, oh, let's keep making money off guns and then they can kill people, but we don't care because money's more important. In their mind, they've got it rationalized differently. In their mind, I don't fucking know. I'm not in that fucking shit. I don't know what the fuck they want. There's windmills everywhere, almost surrounding me like 180 degrees, more than that, of these windmills, electricity windmills. In Indiana. Pretty neat. Alright, I guess I have to end as much as I don't want to listen to more coverage. At least the BBC is talking about gun control. Not like Chuck Turd on Meet the Press, who, from what I've heard, I don't know for sure, but I've heard on Facebook that Chuck Todd hand-slapped Bernie Sanders saying it's not appropriate to talk about gun control after somebody uses an AK-47 and kills 50 people. Okay. Anyway, see ya. Have a nice day. Eat me.